Hello. Same but different with this week's weather compared with the last 7 days. During the last 7 days, we have seen bouts of wind and rain coming in from the southwest. Now, during the last 7 days, the jet stream's been amplified. That means it's been dipping to the west and then rising over the UK. And we've seen this extraordinary warmth over the continent and well above average temperatures for the UK as well. But our weather's been coming from the southwest all the while with spells of rain at times. Now, similar conditions over the next 7 days, but here's how the pattern looks during the week ahead. The jet stream much flatter, pointing at us from the west. As a result, temperatures will begin to come down. Rather than getting that warmth from the southwest, we're going to get cooler air from the west. But also we'll see further spells of wind and rain, and one such spell of wind and rain crossing the country during Monday night into the start of Tuesday. This area of low pressure. Now, the French have named this Storm Claudio because of the very strong winds expected across northern France overnight, but will also be affected by this strong wind in the south of England, along the English Channel coast, 50 to 60, and in one or two exposed spots, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts as people start waking up on Tuesday morning. So a lively night of wind and rain. The worst of the wet weather clearing away from the east during the morning. Drier conditions arriving here, but the rain continuing there for some time across the Northern Isles. Brighter skies for many, but that wind stays strong, not quite as strong. However, we'll likely see gales around some exposed southern and southwestern coasts, and further spells of rain and showers coming through the southern half of the UK in particular. Those showers will be heavy and frequent, thundery in places. Also showers for Western Scotland and Northern Ireland, but some brighter spells, some drier interludes for Northern England and Eastern Scotland once that early rain gets out of the way. With the wind, of course, it's not going to feel particularly warm, but temperatures still a little above average for the time of year, 15 or 16 in the south, 11 to 13 further north. Now, heading into Tuesday night, the next system starts to emerge in the mid-Atlantic. The jet stream powered across the Atlantic there, picking up this weather system and deepening it as it approaches the UK. And that means that as we start off Wednesday, although it will be a dry start for many, quite quickly the wind picks up. And that wind will be particularly strong across Irish Sea coast. You can see the colours there corresponding to the wind gust key, and that would indicate wind gusts of 55 to 65 miles an hour are on exposed coasts of the Irish Sea during Wednesday, and as a result a wind warning in force here as well, especially exposed coasts, tricky conditions around coastal areas and traffic disruption also possible. Elsewhere across the UK, it's a fine start in the east and the south, some sunshine early on, but we've got this wet and windy weather sweeping through Northern Ireland into Scotland, and then by the afternoon, northern and western England as well as parts of Wales. The rain heavy and persistent. It's going to be mounting up through the week across Western Hills in particular. It doesn't quite reach East Anglia in the southeast, although it turns increasingly breezy here, and it turns to showers across Western Scotland and Northern Ireland. 12-13 in the north, 15-16 in the south. But behind this cold front, we've got that colder air arriving from the Atlantic, from the west, and it will certainly feel colder across northern and western parts of the country on Thursday. But the rain stalls in the southeast because of this feature, this warm front pushing it back north once again. So it looks like Thursday could be a wet day across East Anglia and the southeast in particular, some heavy and persistent rain through the day. Meanwhile, brighter skies further north and west, but blustery showers here, especially for northern and western Scotland. But in between there will be some drier interludes, some brightness. However, those temperatures are lower compared with the last few days, 11 to 14 Celsius, and not feeling pleasant at all where it's raining through the day in the southeast, of course, with a strong wind, it has to be said. Now into Thursday night, that rain finally gets out of the way, and then further showers follow from the west. It looks like the morning will be the most showery part of the day. Some heavy downpours in places, moving from the northwest to the southeast, and then drier and brighter conditions follow for many, although it will stay blustery, and those temperatures will be at around average for the time of year, not something we've seen for a few weeks. Now, Friday's drier and brighter interlude doesn't last long because the next low is gearing up out towards the west, again picked up by a lively jet stream, deepened over the open waters of the Atlantic and sending a weather system in from the west. So Saturday, perhaps a dry start for some, but it soon turns wet and windy. That rain and wind clearing to showers by Sunday, so the weather staying very autumnal. I don't think there will be many leaves left on the trees by the end of this week.